Howdy folks, the star of today's lore episode is Dex's Diner. On the World of Worlds, the wealthy and well-connected dined in restaurants serving elaborate dishes with weird and wonderful names from cultures few had even heard of. The poor and destitute on Coruscant had to scrabble around for scraps, or for enough credits just to buy the most basic reconstituted food board. There were places to eat where a customer could call up the latest results from the Nunu Ball League, or the pod races, and place their bets on the next Grav Ball games. One could enjoy a meal in a restaurant that used holograms from repulsor lifts to give the appearance of floating in space. Others had live broadcasts or performances by the latest musical sensations to batter one's auditory receptors while waiting for overpriced meals to be served by underpaid, unconcerned lackeys. The weary worker returning from a day's toil or enjoying a well-earned break didn't want to have to hold a degree in alien language and culture before being able to choose what to eat. Nor do they want to settle for basic food board and its unique taste. They didn't want to gamble or sit in a holo theater or listen to the latest Bith band hits. They certainly didn't want to be fobbed off with phony hospitality. Thankfully, there were a few places here and there that cater for folks who just wanted something to eat. Maybe a little information on the side. One such establishment was Dex's Diner. It was often said that nothing on Coruscant was ever quite what it seemed, and Dex's Diner in Cocoa Town was certainly no exception. Now the history of the diner was, it appears, closely linked to the Jedi Temple in the 3 decades or so before the demise of the Old Republic. Specifically, the diner had been a frequent meeting place for Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and his Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now the story is kind of a long and complex one, but Obi-Wan had been the Padawan of Qui-Gon for only a few eventful years when his master himself, known for his unorthodox approach to the Jedi life, took him to Diddy's cafe. Now Diddy Odo was a man who, as well as running a respectable business, was also an information gatherer for the Jedi. When Obi-Wan first met Diddy, he was in serious trouble with the bounty hunter. Now, Obi-Wan took an unfortunately pious attitude to Odo, questioning why Qui-Gon would even help someone with such a dubious history. And Qui-Gon just put it simply, Diddy was a friend. Now, what initially appeared to be a simple matter of mistaken identity was quickly revealed as something far more sinister and wide-reaching. Both Diddy and Astri, his daughter, were innocents caught up in the schemes of Dr. Jenna Zan Arba. Now, Dr. Arba was attempting to study the Force scientifically, and her methodology was far from legitimate. At one point, she kidnapped 2 Jedi Masters, including Qui-Gon Jinn, while the bounty hunter she hired smashed up Diddy's business and severely wounded him. Now, while recovering in the Jedi Temple, Diddy Odo received word that the cafe landlord had closed the business down. And after the errant Dr. Arba was dealt with, the key players in the adventure attended the opening of the new Odo business, a small diner in Cocoa Town called Diddy's New Cafe. Now, over the years, Diddy's New Cafe had become Diddy and Astri's Cafe, as Diddy Odo accepted his daughter as a full partner in the business. The diner endured the constant noise of passing speeders and hover trains in an industrial part of Cocoa Town near a business park. Former friends of and information brokers for Qui-Gon Jinn, Diddy and Astri continued to help out Obi-Wan Kenobi when he needed their services, and this included obtaining forged identification and other such favours. Now, as time marched on, 4 years after Qui-Gon Jinn's death during the Battle of Naboo, Astri married and moved away from Coruscant. Diddy made the decision to sell up and move on also. Now, years before, on the outer rim mining world of Ord Sagat, Obi-Wan Kenobi had encountered a bar owner whose outwardly respectable trade concealed a more lucrative, far from legal, gun running business. The bar was a pretty rough place, but its owner was up to the challenge. Dexter Jetster was helped in the diner by a motley crew of droids, kept in order by his head waitress, Hermione Bagua. A bossy waitress droid, WA7, rolled about the place on a unipod wheel. The droid and the human waitresses were often at odds with each other, with WA7 thinking herself superior to Hermione. Droids performed various other duties in the diner, helping Dexter to concentrate on his cooking and the welcoming of valued clients. An intelligent dishwasher unit hummed away in the kitchen, sometimes finding time to flirt with WA7. The hulking barkeeper revealed a love of cooking and a desire to open a restaurant on Coruscant, a planet where he had family. Not long after he arrived on Coruscant, Dexter bought out Diddy and Astri's cafe, and Obi-Wan soon exchanged one information source for another, equally if not more reliable one. Now, there was a nostalgic streak in Dex's character, and his diner echoed this. The Basilisk had the place gutted back to the bare structure and renovated completely. The resultant style was very reminiscent of the diners of the golden age of the Republic, with curving lines, chrome and deep red colouring. Though well off the beaten track and despite not being in the best of areas, Dexter's Diner did a brisk trade. This was primarily because of the food. The fare was simple and, more importantly, trustworthy. Though some regulars joked with Dexter that he sprinkled his food with addictive compounds, the very fact that patrons could recognise what they were eating counted for a lot. Now, Obi-Wan had gone back to Dexter's for food one day after the meals at the Jedi Temple had driven him to search for something he could pronounce as well as safely eat. As ever, Dex didn't let him down, and Obi-Wan chided himself for not trusting Dexter the cook as readily as he trusted Dexter the information broker. And that is the history of Dexter's Diner and how he came to be in possession of it. So if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, let me know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below, subscribe to keep up to date with my latest videos. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.